In 2024, if you are a software engineer, a data scientist, a cloud engineer, either a seasoned veteran tech enthusiast or a beginner, you need to start looking into AI. If you're not looking into AI or you're not integrating AI features into the application you're building in 2024, we need to talk. Come on, I'll put you on game. Check this out. Check out this little app I'm building. I also have 3 pictures saved on my desktop. A man that is walking a dog. I also have another picture of a street in the city and another picture of the US Capitol. I added a navbar, named it image analysis, and this will have the ability to analyze any image uploaded by the user and respond with a full analysis result of the image as provided by Azure AI Vision Service. I'm going to upload this image now. There we go. I'm trying to upload the image now. A man walking a dog. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on Analyze Image. Let's see what comes back as a result. Viola, Azure AI has returned the full analysis result. It detected a person with 94% confidence of its detection. Also, it found a dog in the image. Looking at the details of the image according to the AI Vision Service, it captioned it as a man walking a dog on a leash. It also gave the dense caption of other observations in the image. AI Vision also provided a bunch of tags to all items detected in the image. Objects detected are dog and person, and also the people. Isn't that interesting? Now let's go back to the image analysis and try to remove the background. I'm going to upload the image and click remove background. Check it out, the background is gone. Let's play around with another picture. I'll upload that, click on analyze image, and let's see what comes back. There you go, from the caption to dense caption, tags, objects, and people, thanks to Azure AI Vision Service. There you go. Let's take out the background for that real quick. Select file, upload, click remove background. Viola, background gone. Interesting, right? If you stick around, I'll show you how I did that. AI is a very powerful technology that gives developers the ability to infuse human capabilities into application. When I say human capabilities, you want to build an application that has the ability to decide, ability to speak, ability to listen, ability to see, an ability to even do extraordinary things. So in this video, we are diving into the world of Azure AI Service. Whether you're a seasoned programmer or just starting out, this guide will provide you with everything you need to know about Azure AI. We'll explore text, vision, speech, and decision-making service, and even include a quick hands-on with an image analyzer program. So let's get started. Okay, let's hold on for a minute. Let's back up. Okay, look at it like this. There's 4 major pillars of Azure AI. We have the text, we have the vision, we have the speech, and we have decision making, right? So you need to understand those are the major building blocks of Azure AI. Everything you want to do with Azure AI are under these 4 pillars. Now, if you break it down from text, under the text section, we have entity recognition, we have sentiment analysis, and we have language understanding. And coming back to the vision pillar, you have the computer vision, you have custom vision, you have text extraction, and you have the face API. Now going to the speech pillar, you have the text to speech, you have the speech to text, you have speaker recognition, and you have speech translation. And coming to the decision-making pillar, we have the anomaly detection, we have content moderation, and we have personalizer. Now that it's clear that we have 4 main pillars in Azure AI, I'm gonna go ahead and double down in breaking down all these pillars into sub-pieces and explaining each of the sub-pillars to the point where you have a clear understanding. Like I said earlier, we'll dive into one of the modules of the pillars and then do a hands-on just to have a real-life understanding of how Azure AI works. Bouncing back to the 4 pillars of Azure AI services that I mentioned earlier on, let's start it off from the text services pillars. Azure AI provides suites of services that can help you analyze and understand textual data. Let's break that down into the key components. Now, inside that text services, we also have other services under that pillar, like the entity recognition service, sentiment analysis, language understanding. Moving on, entity recognition service. This service identify and categorize entities within your text, such as dates, name, organizations. It is useful for extracting structured information and unstructured data from a text. Speaking of entity recognition, let me put you on a real life example. Imagine an application that is trying to verify your identity. Maybe you are trying to sign up on an app and then it gets to a point where you have to verify your identity and the app is requiring you to take a picture of your driver's license or passport or any form of identification you have. Now, when you take that picture, there's an AI service implemented behind the scene in the app using entity recognition to analyze and recognize all the entity in your ID card, right? It's going to pick up your name. You recognize your name, you recognize your date of birth, you recognize the organization you work for or whatever organization that issues the ID card, and then he extracts all this data and send it to the backend, and they can use that data to match it against other databases to see if you're a real person, right? So this is an example of entity recognition under text AI service, right? Now, the next one is sentiment analysis. This service detects the sentiment expressed in a piece of text, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. This can be extremely helpful for customer feedback analysis. So let's say you have an e-commerce website, and then you want to make sure that when people put a comment on a specific product or even on your social media, you can analyze if the comment is a positive one or a negative one. There's an AI service behind the scene that can detect this. This is called sentiment analysis under the text AI service. Finally, under the text AI service, we have the language understanding service, also known as the LUIS. It helps us create applications that understand natural language, command, and queries. It's particularly useful for building chatbots and voice controls applications. A quick example of this is having an application that when you speak to it, it can detect what language you speak, be it French, Spanish, or English, whatever. Or if you type a text, you can detect what language you use to type that text. So if you look at the way social media comments are being done these days, you see people typing different languages there, and then the language understanding service behind the application will detect that language, and it will also give you an option to translate the comment, right? That's because there's a service behind the scene that already detected that language and also has the ability to translate that language to English or whatever language you want. So that's a very good example of the language understanding service, which is under the text AI service. This is also a very good AI tool. Moving on to the next pillar in the Azure AI service, we have the vision service, which offers several tools to help you analyze visual content. Now, under the visual service, we have the computer vision, we have custom vision, we have text extraction, and we have face API. Now we're going to start this from the computer vision. It provides functionalities like image analysis service, object detection service, optical character recognition, OCR, and it's a powerful tool for extracting information from image and video. And then the next sub pillar under vision is the custom vision. Custom vision is more like an advanced type of computer vision, except that you have to train your own model for the custom vision to match the exact objects or image classifiers that you want to capture. Because on the computer vision, Azure already have some pre-trained models that it works with, like the object detections, image analysis, optical character recognitions, and these are powerful for extracting information and images. So on the custom vision, depending on the use case or what you're trying to have your computer vision service to be able to capture in an image, you can train your model, you can customize your model to fit that use case. Now, the third one is the text extraction. So in an image, there are some images that come with text extraction. Imagine you taking a picture of a street, and then in the picture you can see the street name, you can see names of things written on the wall. Then the text extraction service can actually pick out, extract those texts that are in images. That's basically what that does. It reads printed and handwritten text from images, helping you digitize paper document. And finally, under the Azure Vision service, we have the Face API. The Face API detects and analyzes human faces in images. It provides information about facial features, age, and even emotions. It's great for applications requiring facial recognition. This is a kind of service that can be embedded in an application that can actually detect human emotions, that can actually look at human face and determine what age the human is. It's basically image analyzer for face, right? So that's why we call it the face API, and they provide information about facial features. And the third pillar of the Azure AI service is the speech services. And under the speech services, we have text to speech, we have speech to text, we have speaker recognition, and we have speech translation. So the speech service enables your application to process and understand spoken language. Let's zoom into the text to speech service. It converts written text into spoken words. It's perfect for creating natural sounding audio content from text. Imagine writing a text or typing a text as a text message, and the other person, when they receive the text message, they can rather just listen to it. It gives the ability for you to actually type a text message and then send it to someone, and the person can actually receive it as a voice message. The second one is the speech to text service, which is kind of like a reverse of the text to speech service. So the speech to text service translates spoken words into text. This is useful for creating applications that need voice command functionality. So like an app like Siri, right, on iPhone, you can just say something to it, hey, send a text to my girlfriend, or send a text to my mother, and then you can speak the text into it, and Siri will convert that spoken word into text. That is a very good example of the speech to text service. The next one is the speaker recognition service, which identifies who is speaking based on their voice. It can be used for security and personalization in application. Imagine calling your bank or calling your broker, and then you have to verify your identification. Initially, they will have you speak to register your voice, and then moving forward, if you want to call in, they can tell you to say something, so they will match your current voice with the one in the database, and if it matches, then you'll be authenticated. So it's a very good service for security authentication as well. You can actually build an application that makes phone call whereby you speak one language and the receiving person on the other end is listening in another language. You can speak English here and the receiver is hearing French. So the speech translation service can actually make this come to reality. It's a very powerful AI tool that translates speech in real time. And finally, under the Azure AI speech service, we have the speech translation service. It really does translate spoken language in real time. It's invaluable for communication across different languages. The fourth and final pillar of the Azure AI service is the decision services. Now let's zoom into the decision services. We have anomaly detection service, we have content moderation service, and then we also have the personalizer service. Starting off from the anomaly detection service, it identifies unusual patterns in your data, which can be used for fraud detection, monitoring system, or even health services and more. Now, if you look at most banking apps these days, they most likely have anomaly detection service, which studies a pattern of transaction. For example, in your banking app, probably every month you are sending out your rental bill payment or mortgage payment or car payment. Over time, this is being studied by the anomaly detection service, and it already noticed the pattern of the kind of money that is coming out of your account every month. Now, if suddenly someday there is an unusual transfer that comes out of your account, the anomaly detection will actually trigger that and flag that and suspect it as a fraud. And this might even put a lock on your account. So this is something that you can use anomaly detection for. It studies a pattern, and the moment something changes that pattern, it raises a flag. And then looking at the content moderation services, it automatically reviews and filters inappropriate content in images, videos, and even texts. It helps maintain a safe and compliant environment. A good example is a social media platform that monitors and moderates the kind of content that the user uploads on the platform. There are some social media platforms that actually monitors and police the kind of content you upload on their platform. And if you upload a content that violates what they allow on their platform, they can either take it down or lock up your account. So this content moderation service is a very good AI tool that can be used to implement such kind of compliance maintenance on their platform. And the final service in the Azure AI Decision Service is the Personalizer Service, which uses the reinforcements to provide personalized content and experience to users. It's ideal for creating tailored recommendations. A good example of your personalized service is your For You page. Based on the kind of content you are always watching, you'll be getting recommendations of other content that are similar to that. So the personalizer is kind of like a model that is trained to study what you do on social media or any platform. That way it can recommend similar content to what you like to watch. That is what personalizer does. Now that I've been able to explain all the 4 pillars of the Azure AI services, and like I said earlier, we are going to play with a little application that I'll be building here and showing you how one of these services work, which is the image analyzer. We'll write a very simple code to analyze an image and extract useful information from that image, and I'll show you how this works. Let's go. First, I'll be going to my Azure portal, click on an existing resource group, or you can create a new one. And what I'll be doing here is create an Azure Cognitive Service here. I'll come to the marketplace, type Azure Cognitive Service. And then I'll click on that, and then I'll create a new one. So the Azure Cognitive Service will actually give me access to all the Azure AI services, regardless if it's vision or speech or anyone. So Cognitive Service gives me access to all. And I'll create one, Demo Cognitive Service 1, 2, 3. And I'll select the standard SO, check the box, simple as that, just create that. Once that is created, I only need the key and the service URL, and then that's all. I'll just plug that with my API. So the deployment is in progress. Deployment is done. I'll go to the resource. In the resource, you can see we have the keys and the endpoints. That's all I need. I'll click on the key here, copy it, go to my code. And then in the app settings.json file, there is a space here that requires key. I'll paste the key there. And for the service endpoint, I'll go back to my Azure resource and then copy the endpoint here. And then reduce that, put the endpoint here. And that's it. That's all I need from Azure. Now I can start plugging my application to this. So speaking of the output folder, once the application is done analyzing the image, I created an output folder here under the roots folder. So the application will resubmit the result there, and then I'm picking the result from there and displaying it on the screen. That will make more sense in our controller. Going back to the image analysis controller, I'm going to go through this piece of code in our controller and explain what it does, and then push the code to my GitHub repository. I'll put a GitHub repository link under this video. If you're interested, you can go ahead and download the code and go through it and see what exactly it does and how I have implemented it. First, we have the constructor where we inject the I configuration service to read our settings from the app settings.json file. We need this to get our Azure Cognitive Service endpoint key and output folder. And here is the constructor here. And now next we are going to the upload image. So for the upload method, it handles the GET request to display the image view. Simple and straightforward, nothing else. Next we have analyze method. This handles the post request to analyze an uploaded image. It starts by checking if the image file is valid. We then read the necessary configurations and initialize the image analysis client. The analyze image method here, I'm going to dive into that. Go to implementation, and here we have the analyze image method. The image is saved to the server, and we call our analyze image method to perform the actual analysis. The analyze image method uses this Azure SDK to analyze the image. It extracts captions, dense captions, tag, objects, and people. After analyzing, we annotate the image to visualize the results, and that's what we are doing here. We're calling the annotate image here. Going to the annotate image method, we can see that we are annotating, and this is the method we're using to annotate the image, literally putting a bound box around the image, and we'll also see how this works once we run the code. Now let's move on to the background removal. Similar to analyze method, the remove background method handles post requests for background removal. It saves the image and calls the background foreground method. And if you go to the background foreground method definition here, this method calls Azure Segment API to remove the background. It sends the image to the service and saves the results. And the results will be saved in the output folder where my code is picking it and displaying it on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and run this code now, and we'll see how that pans out. So it's coming up. and the app is up and running. So I'm going to go to image analysis. On the image analysis page, I can upload a file, an image, and then decide to either analyze the image or remove the background of the image. I'm going to go ahead and upload one of the files, images that I have on my desktop. It's of a man walking a dog. So if I upload that here and I click on analyze, let's see what the Azure AI will come back with as a result. So now analysis results. Now it's saying that this is a person. If I zoom that up, it says this is a person, confident 94%. And then the other object that they found is a dog. And the caption that is putting on this image is a man walking a dog on a leash. And for the dense caption, you can see all the results that Azure AI has said that they found on the picture. A man walking a dog on a leash, a man holding a belt, a close-up of a dog, a close-up of a belt. And for the tags, you can see every other thing that Azure could find on the picture. It says he found a tree, outdoor environment, dog breed, person, clothing, leash, dog walking, and many other things. As far as objects, he found two objects there, a dog and a person. And the people that they found there is one person, and they kind of like put a bounding box around that. So if I go back here and say, okay, let me upload the same image and remove the background. So I'm going to upload the image and then remove background of that image. Let's see what comes back as a result. You can see it came back with a background removed results. And I can also upload just any other image. I can try any other image there. Either upload a street with a taxi, analyze that. So let's see. Okay, analysis results. You can see all the red box that it found person. So this is the number of people that they found, each of them with a bounding box. People result, object result, they found a taxi also. And the caption is given to that image is a yellow taxi driving down a street in a city. So basically this is what you can do with Azure AI Vision Service image analysis. Imagine all the things you can do with these services. Pretty interesting. In that code, we send an image URL to Computer Vision API and request it to analyze the image. The API returns description of the image and then print it out on the screen. And that's it. You've just created a simple image analyzer app using Azure Custom Vision API. This is just the beginning of what you can do with Azure AI Service. There's a whole lot more wonders that can be done with Azure AI services. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video gives you a clear understanding of Azure AI Service and how to get started with them. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified about my latest content. Leave your question and comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.